And right now, we're continuing to talk about the January 6th hearings. 2 more ahead this week.
We want to get some expert insight from political science professor from Quinnipiac University, Scott McLean. Professor, thank you for taking the time to join us today. How are you this morning?
Great to be here, Tim.
Glad to have you here. First things first, it looked like the big theme from yesterday's hearings was to hear about the bogusness of the election fraud claims straight from the mouths of the people in the Trump inner circle. I imagine that was not by accident.
No, it's highly effective to hear from Trump's own loyalists, people who said they would vote for him again if they had the chance, saying that they told Trump countless times that the election was not stolen and that voter fraud claims that it swung the election were just not true and they're not verified by facts. And I think that's a very, very powerful way of hearing about this. Time will tell if this really has an impact on public opinion. Polls haven't done a whole lot of research on how people see this for about 6 months. And so it'll be interesting to see if that 40 to 45% of independent voters are really affected by this. Right now, about 45% of independent voters, last time we checked in January, thought that Trump was largely responsible for the January 6 riots. These hearings may have an impact on that, but we don't know. I think the other big question, really quickly, is even if people think that Trump is responsible for it, particularly those people who are not Democrats or Republicans and influenced by their partisanship, is it really that important? Is the threat ongoing? And that's the other part that's going on with the presentations by the hearings and the witnesses. Is this an ongoing threat, or was this just a one-time thing?
Yeah, after hearing all of this testimony and all of these cases from those who knew Trump, who were in his inner circle, who were his advisors, what's going to happen now after they've given the testimony? What do you think is going to be next? What will the result be?
Your guess is as good as mine, Erica. I think that we'll see. The one thing I'm surprised at, actually, is that the committee has promised new revelations, and they've delivered. So far, the first 2 hearings have showed me new things. I follow this fairly carefully. I was surprised at so many of the revelations and the fact that so many of former President Trump's own close advisors, including family members, explained how Donald Trump knew that the election wasn't stolen and yet decided anyway. One other interesting thing that I really not sure if it can really develop into something, but the idea of $250 million being raised by Trump supporters from Trump supporters for challenging the election, that really wasn't spent for that at all. It was spent to fund candidates that support Trump, Trump loyalists, and to pay for the rally on January 6th. So, whether that will amount to anything, but it does go to show that there's just, misleading information, if not out-and-out lies that were going on all the time during this entire situation.
All right, and we will see if they continue to sort of press that line to see if there's any criminal liability now for fraud based on fundraising that would popped up after January 20th, because, of course, the president is more or less immune from prosecution for anything that's done while in office, for good reason.
Well, also if there's any legal action that can be taken.
Yeah, at that point. So that's a whole different ball of wax it looks like we'll have to get to when everything is done. Mr. McLean, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We do appreciate it.